face like an Indian. Next nigga speaking ill about the gang, I'm in him. Yeah, I'm here, just can't be seen like a Sasquatch. The way we eating rappers, blame it on the bath salt. Anybody claiming king, I'm gunning for that ass. With a local Joe for hopeful or Jay-Z and Nan. I shake and bake, crossover, oop off the glass, running, gunning just for fun. Dominique on that ass. With the Wilkins and Dawn, still flipping on that ass. Read about the green, got the banner, watch, hope smash, told Kanye. Thank you, I appreciate the laugh. Showed the leases to the owl, so the Grove gave a pass. Had to take the test, but my grade showed a pass. Blue strings in my chucks when the springs, dumbass. And I put that on the C's, on the set. You niggas want my spot, taking me, wanna bet. You dummies hella funny, but you get no respect. On the streets, looking queer, only thing missing is a dress. I shadow lip gloss, you bitch niggas got breath. They go Twan, pass a shovel, couple graves need digging. Hell have no fury, and you know it's Lord willing. Mass murder on the mic, it's been free of killing. Man, woman, and child, you can spell me with your feelings. Beast, catch me drinking rivers under shade trees. I'm the one Joe seen trying to drain you Frady. Anunnaki, only couple gods in my pantheon. Naboo Group X is where my people come from. On the search for the goal, and it's the nearest sun. Unorthodox, sporadical, mythical, mathematical. I'm magical, taking your firstborn as collateral. Gang! Ah.
To the photon, say that I'm not. I issue more than headlocks, they be taking headshots. I keep firing to the pen sound like it's bad shots. Now move your feet like we in bedrock. You fucking around out of wedlock. Me, I'm committed to doing it again and again like it's OCD. And treat this bitch like 4 kings so this Allen don't leave. I kill these lyrics and carry them for half a 16.
The worldwide heavyweight, get it straight, it's the game. From the B to the C's, we are G's and we bang. Full court defense, better put Mr. in your prefix. Please, Mr. Venom, when you're speaking. We're like the justice scale, we're uneven. All rise when I reside and I be seated. The data bank just got deleted. Understand the cause of the effect of your bleeding.
I'm more seeds at the stake on the skillet. Niggas hate that I kill it so much.
Yo, what is up? What's good, my people? What's up with you? What's up with you? What up? What up? Welcome to another exciting live stream here, man, at Blues House. This is Blues News, and I am your host, Bluminati. This is your go-to channel for all things entertainment, film, and TV reviews, and that urban pop and nerd culture, man. That's how I'm doing. I'm changing the game. Urban pop culture. That's what we're doing right here, man. I'm thrilled to have y'all here today, man, rocking out with me. I don't care if you're a diehard Marvel fan, DC fan, sci-fi, horror, hip-hop, pop music. We doing it all, man. If you a movie buff, music buff, we're gonna talk, man. I'm gonna just get all into it, man. So today's show, man, we're gonna be talking a little bit about Agatha's viewership. Is it good? Is it bad? You know what I'm saying? I want to talk about the Acolyte's crazy, exuberant, I want to use that word. I think I'm using the right word, budget that they had. Then I want to talk about how 50 has this Diddy documentary on the way. So yeah, man, without further ado, let's get into the show.
How much time till we're on?
We're on, Ron.
What?
We're on the air right now.
I'm ready.
Yeah. All right. So let's get into it, man. Agatha All Along, man. Agatha All Along and its viewership. Now, look, Agatha's not a bad show. Decent show. Watched episode 3. Pretty good. Not mad at it at all. I'm still one of those people who asked for this show. I'm always say that. I don't think a lot of people asked for an Agatha show, right? And that's not necessarily a bad thing. I can come up with a show that people don't ask for and it can do well. You know what I'm saying? It can do well. You know what I mean? But that don't mean that anybody really necessarily asked for the show, right? So as I'm perusing on Twitter X, I see a lot of people, you know what I'm saying, posting the Agatha All Along viewership numbers, right? So I said, okay, not bad, not bad. And it made me go look into some things, and then I came across this article. So I want to bring up this article. Let's bring up this article. Because in bringing up this article, it just made me think. You know what I'm saying? It just kind of made me think. You know what I mean? Agatha All Along posts lower viewership numbers than the Acolyte, but there's still hope for a comeback. Now, a lot of people, like I said, has been praising the viewership of this show. They've been praising it, and they should. They should praise it. Good viewership. It's been good viewership. Let's get into it. So Agatha All Along premiered a week ago with the first 2 episodes. The show was notably panned by critics soon after the release, but praised by audiences, which is true. The audiences came through and was like, nah, hold on, critics. We kind of like this one. We might let this one slide. We might let this one slide. So even though the Rotten Tomatoes score has somewhat stabilized, the show did suffer from an attempted review bombing. Right? Now the first numbers are here, and they spell a bleak picture on the overall viewership of the show. Well, at least when you compare that to other popular series released in recent times. I wonder what show they're talking about. Well, I mean, they already kind of talked about it. Now, according to the data provided by Variety, Agatha All Along hit 9.3 million views on Disney Plus in its first 7 days of streaming. The data is not entirely accurate, but it's a pretty good indicator of the popularity of the show. Now, that's not bad. If you think about it, 9.3 million views. Not bad. Not bad, right? Not bad. Now, when compared to the other shows, The Acolyte scored 11.1 million views its first 5 days, and the show was notable for having low viewership following the release of the first 2 episodes. The Penguin, which debuted in the roughly same time with the single episode, managed to draw 5.3 million U.S. viewers across all platforms in the first 4 days. Now, I don't know how that necessarily correlates. The Penguin dropped 1 episode. Acolyte dropped 2, if I remember correctly, and Agatha All Along dropped 2. Now, how are they counting those 2 episodes? Is, you know what I'm saying? Because I still don't understand how they count a viewership. So I did a little research on just to see how they count viewership. Now, Hulu determines their viewership based off of where'd it go? Man, don't tell me I lost it. Give me 1 second, y'all. Let me see if I can find. I lost it. I can't find it. Cannot find it. But either way, they base their viewership from what I remember reading is the first 10 minutes watched on the show. Right? So if you watch 10 minutes on a show, they count that as a view. Now, this is Hulu. This didn't say anything about Disney Plus, but I'm going to lump them together because Disney and Hulu, they are one and the same, especially now, right? So if they're counting the first 10 minutes of a show being watched as a view, that's wild. Now, Netflix counts, it has to be 70%. So I'm sorry, not 10 minutes, first 10% of a show. Netflix says it has to be 70% of a show in order for it to count as a view. So I wonder how HBO counts their views. I would love to know how that's counted. I'm still trying to see if I can find that data. I think this is it. But you know what I'm saying? So that's something really to really think about in the sense of how they do these numbers. You know what I'm saying? Since the Rings of Power attracted 40 million viewers in its first 11 days since the premiere dropped on Amazon Prime, and HBO's own House of the Dragon season 2 attracted a much greater audience, standing at 7.8 million viewers for the show's premiere in the first 24 hours, as per WBD's and Nielsen's data. Now, clearly, Agatha All Along on average has the lowest numbers, but there's a good explanation for that. In my opinion, I don't think Marvel Studios ever hope to break records with Agatha All Along, considering that the show is tailored to a very specific audience. That's true. That's true. With them tailoring it to a very specific audience, I don't think that they was looking forward to. Well, I don't know. Let me not say that, because the way a lot of these people get up in arms when talking about certain things is everything should break records. Everything should be this, and you should watch it just because. And if you don't like it, you're a hater, this, that, and the third. So I don't know, man. I don't know. Says the average MCU fan likely doesn't care about Agatha, and your average comic book reader doesn't care about Agatha or show tunes or the premise at all. So you can't exactly expect record-breaking numbers, and that's true. Me as a comic book, I'm a comic book fan and I'm MCU fan, but I don't care about Agatha. I'm watching it because I do this YouTube stuff, you know what I'm saying? And I guess because I'm an MCU fan, you know what I'm saying? But the common, regular, everyday, fly-by-night MCU fan ain't coming through to watch this. You know what I'm saying? I don't necessarily think that that's what's going on. They go on to say the viewership can still rise, however, as the appearance of a young Wanda has been teased, as well as the confirmation that Mephisto exists. So far, the plot for the show doesn't affect the plot of the MCU overall, and this likely has everything to do with the fact that not a lot of fans are interested in it. I don't think it's that. I just think that the plot, the overall plot doesn't affect what we think happens with the MCU, but I do think that it does affect things going forward. Remember, we're dealing with Wanda, we're dealing with things that happen in WandaVision and all. So I think a lot of this stuff might have some consequences to what's going on forward in the MCU. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how big of implications it might have, but I do think that it is going to touch something. I do, you know what I'm saying? Whether it's this might bring Wanda back. This show right here might be how we get Wanda back in the overall MCU. So that would be something that would touch on the overall MCU as a whole. You know what I'm saying? So that's the whole article. I want to say, Agatha is a good show. It's not a bad show. Episode 3 was a pretty good show, pretty decent show, real dope. But if I'm Marvel, I'm not going in looking at this as the money maker. This isn't the one that's going to be changing things for me, right? But I want to talk about the business end of things, right? And to push that forward, I want to go into my next topic. So let's put a pin in this Agatha viewership thing, and then I want to go into my next topic, which is the Acolyte budget. And the reason I want to put a pin in that and go to this Acolyte budget is because I don't think a lot of people understand why things get canceled. Some things might be good or have flashes of damn, I can't wait for another season or something like that, right? Some things might have that. And I think the Acolyte might have been one of those. Now, it's some things in the Acolyte show that they did that kind of shot themselves in the foot. But I don't necessarily think the Acolyte overall was a bad show. But I do think it left a sour taste in a lot of real hardcore Star Wars fans. And I wish people would understand the fandom, right? The initial fandom. When people understand the initial fandom, I think they would see why things don't work, right? Because the initial fandom is the ones that kept these projects or these franchises alive for so long. It's not the new people coming in, you know what I'm saying? It's the people who've been buying the Star Wars merchandise. It's the people who've been buying the Marvel merchandise. It's those people who keep these things going. But I want to get into this budget. because to me it really means a lot. It means a lot, and why they canceled the Acolyte. So let's share this real quick. Says the Acolyte's eye-watering $230 million budget reveal. Jesus, $230 million. Further explaining Disney's cancellation. Says tax returns revealed that the Acolyte was significantly over budget, further explaining that Disney's decision to cancel the show. Helmed by showrunner Leslie Headland, the Acolyte introduced viewers to the High Republic era, a century before the Skywalker saga. The Star Wars TV show met with mixed reviews, and Disney ultimately canceled the Acolyte for season 2. New tax filings unearthed that Park Place offer new insight into the Acolyte's cancellation. Excuse me. According to tax documents filed by the Walt Disney Company's UK branch, Lucasfilm spent 172 million pounds, which is equivalent to $231 million on the show, meaning the budget ballooned to an eye-watering $28.75 million per episode. 28, I'm gonna just round it up, $29 million per episode. $29 million per episode. Did y'all hear me on that? $29 million per episode. So this comes in significantly over budget, given previous comments that had seemed to indicate it cost $180 million to make, making it the most expensive Star Wars TV show to date. That's a lot of money, y'all. That is a lot of bread. $29 million an episode. Did that show look like it cost $29 million? I'm gonna ask y'all, did that show look $29 million ish? You know what I'm saying? Did it look like it cost that? And it's crazy because they think just throwing money at a show is gonna make the show good, right? That don't make the show good. You can do some stick figures if the damn story is dope. People will sit there and watch stick figures fight. I seen kids watch it on YouTube all day long, some stick figures, and you know what I'm saying? The budget ain't all of that. And they initially said that it cost 180. Come to find out it's 231. Then people get mad when they cancel and say, "Oh, they're canceling it because what did they say? The incels didn't like it was a female led." I'm gonna get into that too. I'm gonna get into that. What the Acolyte budget means for the future Star Wars. Did the Acolyte ever really have a chance? Since the Acolyte was controversial from the offset, with a vocal review bombing campaign throughout the streaming run, its cancellation has left the Star Wars fandom divided, with critics of the Disney era feeling emboldened and those who enjoyed it demotivated and discouraged. But these tax filings show the real reason Disney Plus TV show was canceled. Costs were incredibly high, making it one of the most expensive TV shows ever made. Damn, ever made. One of the most expensive TV shows ever made. So the Acolyte viewership just wasn't good enough given those costs. Here's how the Acolyte compared to even the other Star Wars shows. It says, this is the reported budget. Let me make this a little bit bigger for y'all. Let's do it like this. Boom, boom, or no. Star Wars TV shows reported by budget. Obi-Wan Kenobi cost $90 million. Ahsoka, $100 million. The Book of Boba Fett, $105. The Mandalorian, $120. Skeleton Crew, $136. The Acolyte, add another $100 million to that. $231. Why did the Acolyte cost $231 million? Ahsoka looked just as good for $100 million. Obi-Wan Kenobi, $90. Book of Boba Fett, The Mandalorian, which has been going on, they're going on the 4th season now. If you disinclude the Book of Boba Fett, which I think was just The Mandalorian, season 2.5, in my opinion. But you know what I'm saying? That's the range. To me, nothing should be over 125, 130. In my book, my opinion. What's going on? Skeleton Crew, 136. Then they come out with the Acolyte and throw an extra 100 million on it. Where's that math? What's the math? Who in the business office is letting that rock? Who gave the credit card for that? $231 million to make that show. And what was it? 6 episodes? Gee, this is crazy. So it's unclear quite why the Acolyte was so over budget, but this certainly explains why Lucasfilm invested heavily in tie-ins and merchandise while all attention is on viewership. Merchandise is probably Star Wars' biggest source of income. True. Merchandise, like I told y'all, merchandise is what makes money. But I don't know how many people was running to go and buy May action figures or the Stranger action figure. As a matter of fact, I don't even recall seeing that in a Target or Walmart for the most part. As just, trying to remember. I don't remember seeing those things heavily marketed. So Disney is using merch to make up for the cost. At the very least, this likely means the Acolyte tie-in novels are safe. Some lovers of the Acolyte have been deeply concerned. So I have seen Acolyte novels and comics. I've seen those. And if that's where they're trying to recoup the money at, good luck. Comics don't sell like they used to. So Lucasfilm really do need to relearn George Lucas's most important lesson. George Lucas excelled at keeping costs under control. The streaming era has a massive effect on TV show budgets, and it frankly doesn't feel sustainable. Budgets have gone through the roof. Episode counts have dropped, and seasons releases with years in between rather than annually. Star Wars in particular needs to relearn a simple lesson from George Lucas. He excelled at keeping the cost under control, meaning even the more expensive prequels were a tremendous return of investment. Now, I want to talk about streaming and the massive numbers, the massive money that they put on streaming. It's crazy because we don't know what's deemed as a successful show or movie or not. Even those numbers that I got from the Agatha, and we can go back to the Agatha All Along viewership, like I said, stick a pin in that. Who is that coming from? That's coming from Disney. Or all of these numbers are coming from the parent company was dropped it. And they always have, or they always don't add up to what the independent investigative stream like Nielsen and all these other things, when they go and they do the numbers on certain things, it never adds up. It's never equal or even close to what that parent company puts out. You know what I mean? It's never that. So the money that they put into these shows, how do they get a return off investment? That's the question that really needs to be asked. How do they get the return off investment? Right? What? How do they get a finite number? And this is even with music. I don't know if y'all remember the viral clip of Snoop asking, you know what I'm saying, how back in the day he remembered, a physical CD costs, $20 to make, and I get $10 off of that. You know what I'm saying? Like, now I can do the math. I could say, okay, I sold $1 million, I should have, or I sold 1 million CDs, million, you know what I'm saying? Blah, do the math, boom. This is how much money should be coming my way. Right? But they don't do that with streams. They just making up numbers. With view, they just make up views, and who to say that they're right or wrong? We don't know jack. So when people get upset about, oh, it was successful, I watched it, but then come to find out, didn't nobody watch it? Come to find out, really didn't nobody watch it? X-Men 97. We all, for the most part, I'm pretty sure everybody who's watching this right now are gonna come back and watch it on the replay. Pretty sure enjoyed their time watching X-Men 97. Guess what? Was not a highly viewed show. The viewership was not massive for that show. And if I do a little bit more digging, it probably flopped. Hate to say it. And it's not because it was a bad show. It flopped because of the streaming model. Now, they don't want to tell us, but the streaming model is broke. And that's why you're seeing a lot of these fast channels, Tubi. I guarantee you, Tubi, in a couple of years, Tubi will be way more successful than Disney Plus. Tubi might end up being on par with Netflix. And the only reason why Netflix is so successful is because it started off first. But the way they do the streaming, when there's no ad revenue involved, because that's where you really get the numbers from. Ads. How many people watch these ads? Because that's where money is really exchanged. It's not the subscription. Subscription is finite. I can only get so much, you know what I'm saying? If I got everybody to subscribe, that's it. I can't make no more money because I got everybody to subscribe. But see, ads is where the money's made. That's why those ads cost so much money during the Super Bowl and times like that. And that's why you're now seeing some of these streaming services going to an ad-supported tier. Now, when we bring up the numbers, Disney is a, billion-dollar company. So a lot of the shortcomings of said media that it puts out doesn't necessarily have to turn a profit. Because Disney makes so much money in other arenas that Disney Plus over here, the streaming channel, it can kind of operate with impunity. It can just kind of do what it wants to do. And then when it needs to say, oh, this was a hit, it'll just come out and say, oh, this was a hit. But was it? Was it a hit? Is Agatha All Along a hit? Might be a good show. It's a lot of good shows that wasn't hits. Now, I'm going to tell you this. I'm going to be a little soothsayer right here. They put that out, right? Now, watch in the coming weeks, as the episodes progress, viewership probably will go down. And I wish that they would quit doing that and say, oh, such and such was a big hit on its first week or its first, you know what I'm saying, on its initial day. Like, yeah, duh, most people see something new on the app, so they click on it. Most people see new shiny things, they click on it, oh, what's this? And they watch it. The thing is, will it hold their attention for the long run of the season? And I guarantee you, not because Agatha is a bad show. It's a mediocre show, decent to good. But that viewership will drop. And it might be a steep drop off the cliff, like a lot of these shows do. You can tell the shows that are massive hits, people talk about them. And not just in the community like this. I mean, they become part of the pop culture zeitgeist. They're everywhere. back to this article, says the streaming era has had a massive effect on TV shows budgets, and it frankly doesn't feel sustainable. Budgets have gone through the roof. I already read that. Says Lucasfilm is reportedly reducing its number of live action TV shows, turning a lot of attention back towards the big screen. This is probably a good idea because the kind of budget seen by the Acolyte should really be reserved for theatrical releases. It is to be hoped Lucasfilm learns a lot from whatever went wrong with the Acolyte, resulting in these high costs. Yeah, that's a movie budget. That's a movie, and the reason why that's a movie budget, because when you do stuff like that, you know what your return of investment is. You know what your ROI is. I put it in these theaters. This is, you know what I'm saying? This is my number that it costs to make this movie. If I put it in this much theaters, I should be able to get this much amount of money back. When you put it on a streaming service, you don't know how much money that movie is going to generate. Because whether I put the Acolyte or whether I put Agatha on Disney Plus or not, Disney Plus is still going to be moving. It still has subscribers every month. Now, when Agatha got on there, how many new subscribers did you get? When the Acolyte came out, how many new subscribers did you get? You know, be the real test. I don't know if y'all remember, Disney used to do Premiere Access. They used to do Premiere Access. This was back during the COVID days, right? This is how Black Widow came out. Instead of going to theaters, they came and did the Premiere Access and all of that. I think that's I think that was ahead of its time. I think that was ahead of its time. The pricing was bad. How they did it, I think, was bad. But if you can get your subscribers to understand that in order for a new, let's say I do come out with a new Star Wars movie that I don't want to take to theaters, but I think it'll work good on a streamer. And I say, hey, this is how much it'll cost to watch this movie per on a Premiere Access. Now, guess what? I can equate for how much money this TV show or this film is going to make. At the end of the day, I can tally up how much money was actually made off of said film. And then I can know if I actually got a good friend. And that's another thing too. I think a lot of these franchises think that they're doing good because of internet chatter, right? I think they think that they are doing good due to internet chatter. Oh, we were mentioned on Twitter. Oh, we were trending. That don't mean you're doing good. You might be trending because everybody think that shit is trash. So now when you search your name, you just see that I was trending. Oh, we must got a good show. So now let's keep this going. It's like, no, you don't have a good show. You don't. So that's how I want to wrap it back up to Agatha All Along's viewership. The budget for Agatha All Along, I think, is high. Will the viewership of Agatha All Along, will it equal out to what it needs to be as per the budget? What is considered a success on streaming? We sit here and argue all the time, oh, such and such was trash, it was bad, but what's considered a success on a streamer, right? Do you know? We don't really know. We don't really know. We get into these comments. Well, I left y'all at 60 Truth. What up? Eon say Disney is money laundering, Ponzi scheme. So you don't drop that kind of budget on a new IP. Deadpool dropped 60 mil on his first film. 60 mil. But that's how you make money. You don't have to go crazy. right? Deadpool, pretty popular character, but that was his first time on screen. So why would I go all out and give him a $200 million budget? Especially when he's just a ninja in a red costume, you know, fight. It's just like Blade. Deadpool is a simple character. Blade is a simple character. I don't need a $200 million budget. I don't need that. John Wick. Yeah, the budget might go up for every movie, but it shouldn't be crazy. Angel of Redemption, what up? So Marvel's math is not math, and money by itself doesn't equate to a good series. It does. That's actually bad business. Some of the best movies were ever were low budget. Speak on it. Some of the best movies ever are low budget. Some of the best movies are low budget. They got to learn how to use the low budgetness of a movie, right? I think the first Iron Man was low budget. Captain America, low budget. So high risk concept should have a low risk budget. I think so. Especially on the, but see, that's the illusion of putting it on a streaming service. The illusion of putting it on a streaming service is I got carte blanche to do any and everything I want to do. Look at Secret Invasion. Jesus, man. Look at that shit. Secret Invasion. Samuel L. Jackson. That was expensive. I think that was like $200-something million. Didn't look like it. Horrible show. All that money involved for it to flop like that. This here's why I say just go back to what works. The first Blade movie was fired with a budget of $45 million. Yep. With technology today, you can make that same movie for free. It's like they don't know how to use technology. Ain't no, you absolutely right. Hell, the second Blade film where they added a little bit more CGI. That stuff that they was doing then, I can do that shit now on the computer that I got for nothing. They gotta figure. It's like, how do you not figure this out? So Obi-Wan should have been the most bankable IP on the paper. It gets the smallest budget. Make that. That's crazy you saying that. You're absolutely right. Obi-Wan, if anything, let's put the money in the Obi-Wan because that's the tried and true IP. Obi-Wan is the tried and true IP, been around since the 70s. That everybody know that story. But no, let's put the money on the Acolyte. That makes sense. We need the mid-budget movie back. John Wick, thank you. Mid-budget movies, and they work. The reason why they work is the practicality of things. They try to go as practical as possible. The story, they try to make the story good enough to follow to where it's just not crazy. And you know what I'm saying? That's why it works. Excuse me. That's why it works. And with streaming, they aren't making the money they used to. They really need to be more budget focused. Tell them, I don't know why they got caught up in the streaming thing. I honestly, I think streaming's about to get a remix, in my opinion. They're too much into it for it to go away. Because honestly, I think if they could blow it all up, I think they would. If they can blow streaming up, I think every streaming service would love to blow up their service. But I think they've spent so much money on implementing the things for the streaming service that they got to go forward with it. So you're seeing the remix. You're starting to see the ad, like I said, the ad tier. Starting to see the ad tier, and that's why the prices is going up. Prices are going up because they ain't making money on the streaming side. I don't see how you went putting A-list movie budgets behind these types of streams. You can't. Right now, it's a good time for independent movie makers to step up and dominate with less. I agree. Tubi's been putting out some great content. They're not afraid to push boundaries. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And Tubi's a fast. So you got a lot of fast channels. You got like Tubi, Samsung TV, Roku TV. All of these services are what's called fast services, which is ad supported television. You know, it's basically like watching just CBS or something. You know what I'm saying? ABC, your regular local networks. Those are all ad supported networks. Right? So you have these fast channels coming out. They making money. They making money hand over fist because people get on there. It's free. They don't have the most up-to-date stuff, but most of the stuff is pretty new for the most part. They got an expansive catalog of things to watch. And all you got to do is sit through an ad every now and then. Hand over fist, they making money. Disney Plus should offer free standard service with ads. They should. If they wanted to make money, if I'm Disney Plus, matter of fact, I probably would just get rid of Disney Plus and just stick to, since they own, you know, since they bought out Hulu and got the whole Hulu thing, I would get rid of Disney Plus. Hulu would just eat up Disney Plus, and my streaming service would be Hulu, and it would be that ad-supported Hulu tier, just like you said, free standard with ads. And you might have to, you know what I'm saying? You don't get to watch it, and it'll be, you know what I'm saying? If you want to pay, you'll get perks for paying for that next tier. Like Agatha might drop, but you don't get it. You don't watch Agatha the day it dropped. You might have to wait the next week or something like that. Something new drops, you don't get to watch it the same day as everybody else. Or you don't get to watch it the same day as the people who pay in to watch it, since you got the free tier. Now that's making you make a decision. Well, do I want to pay the money or not? If I don't pay the money, I get the ads. And I'm pretty sure they probably make more money off of the ad than the $20 per subscription. Pretty sure Coca-Cola is paying hella money to run that Coca-Cola ad, or Procter & Gamble, or whoever all these people are that's paying for these ads. Hella money. Netflix is probably doing better with foreign content than domestic. They are. The British have taken over there in Netflix. I'm going to tell you that right now. The British have taken over. I get paying for new D+ content, but their non-premium service should be free. Hey, I'm not against it. I think all of y'all are saying the same thing. Professor Film Fan, what up? So they should stick to making movies. Disney Plus has lost a lot of money on these projects. Straight up. Straight up. Oh, yeah, we ain't going to talk about rings. But, you know, that's Amazon. They got the money for it. But that's what I mean by these streaming services make money, or their parent company makes money elsewhere, which gives them the autonomy to do these big, massive budgets over here. You know what I'm saying? Rings of Power, I think Rings of Power was like $500 million, if I remember correctly. But it was $500 million for the 6 seasons that they're supposedly producing. Something like that. Stick to making movies. Yeah. Moloch, what it do? Bro, the budget for Pulp Fiction was $8 million. $8 million. $8 million. Y'all hear that? Now, I don't know what today's equivalency to that would be, but I'm pretty sure for inflation, let's push it up to 18, 20 million for inflation. Come on. Says X-Men 97 numbers weren't that great because the mature animation is still frowned upon here in North America. Unfortunately, average MCU fan ain't checking for animation like that. I thought the animation was dope. I thought that was, you know, I want us to get away from thinking everything, because everything has to be anime style, right? And everything that's animated is not an anime, because everybody now is anime. It's not an anime, it's animated. Anime has a particular style. You know what I'm saying? Which is of a Japanese influence. That wasn't anime. It's just animation. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think we can still have elements of anime, you know what I'm saying? Because anime has some dope elements into it, especially when it comes to like the action. But we can go back to how, you know, like this X-Men 97. I thought that was dope. Whoever those animators was, I think they were Korean animators, but the concept, you know, was still coming from the original X-Men of the 90s animated show. I like Batman and Superman and Justice League, how that was animated. It had its own style, you know what I'm saying? Like, everything don't have to be stylized, you know, like anime. I think we should get away from that. Or let me not say get away from, but everything doesn't have to be that. He says, I love high quality animation because you can achieve a lot more for less money. Exactly. So they tried to take out Netflix by flooding the market with a lot of shows instead of quality shows. Yeah, you can't do that. Gotta make quality. And see, the thing is, you can't take Netflix out because they've been building since what? Mid-90s? You know what I'm saying? Netflix been around since mid-90s doing what they're doing, building a catalog, buying these licenses and things of that nature. Went from DVD to you can stream the DVD, I want to say in like 02, 03, 04, 05 or something like that. This is what they do. Everything that all of these people are trying to emulate, they're trying to emulate it from Netflix. They were already doing it. So it's hard to try to take out the guy who wrote the book, right? They kind of wrote the book on this streaming thing. It's hard to take them out. You're not going to be able to take them out. Real hard. But y'all let me know what y'all think when it comes to these budgets versus viewership, how things are canceled. And I wanted to touch on fandom. Female-led shows work. I want to say that first and foremost, because I've seen a lot of these tweets, a lot of these memes going around, especially when it comes to like Agatha All Along and stuff like that. Female-led shows work. Men watch female-led shows all the time and have been doing that since the inception. Female-led shows, female-led video games, female-led comic books, right? I don't know a man who minds a female protagonist. You know what I'm saying? I've rarely, if I have ever ran across a guy who was like, oh, I ain't watching that. That's because, you know, it's a girl. Oh, I ain't watching that. Never. You know what I'm saying? If anything, they'll run to it. Just especially, you know, if she's pretty, she's a good looking woman, got some sex appeal about her, men are going to show up. Then if the story is dope, we loving that shit. People love Lara Croft. Men love Lara Croft. Men love Ripley from Aliens. Men love Metroid, Samus. Men love anything Angelina Jolie was in. Charlize Theron. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't understand this. Men don't like female-led shows because that's bullshit. So I just want to reiterate that. Make a good female-led show and men will watch it in droves. Scream is female-led. Who you think is watching Scream? Which is horror. Matter of fact, most horror movies are female. Now that I think about it, most horror movies are female-led. But nobody says, you know what I'm saying? It's crazy when the same thing is said about a male-led or male-driven TV show or movie that flops. Nobody says, oh, the women didn't show up. If the women would have just showed up and watched this show, we would have been all right. That's crazy, right? Women must just don't like male-led shows. Misandrous they are. That shit don't ever happen. Just want to throw that out. Let's get to the next subject, man. Let's get on this next subject. I want to talk a little bit about 50 Cent being super duper petty and pushing the Diddy doc to Netflix. Pushing the Diddy doc to Netflix. Where am I at? One second. What did I do with it? There we go. And this comes from Variety, man. Diddy. Salute to Diddy, man. Diddy is a trip. Diddy is a trip. Diddy is a trip, boy. Well, 50 is a trip. Let me say that. We know Diddy a trip. Diddy wild. But says 50 Cent sets Diddy. What is this? My old ass now playing in theaters. What the hell is that? That's crazy. So 50 Cent says Diddy abuse allegations docuseries at Netflix. It's a complex narrative spanning decades. Says Netflix is producing a docuseries from Curtis 50 Cent Jackson about charges of sex trafficking and racketeering, as well as sexual assault and violent abuse allegations against Sean Diddy Combs. Alexandra Stapleton directs the project, which is currently in production. This is a story with significant human impact. It is a complex narrative spanning decades, not just the headlines or clips seen so far. 50 Cent and Stapleton said in an exclusive statement to Variety. We remain steadfast in our commitment to give a voice to the voiceless and present authentic and nuanced perspectives. While the allegations are disturbing, we urge all to remember the Sean Combs story is not the first full story of hip-hop and its culture. We aim to ensure that individual actions do not overshadow the culture's broader contributions. I like that he said that. I do like that he said that. A lot of people are trying to put this as a hip-hop situation, as a cultural thing, instead of looking at the movements of the man, you know, and what he did. Just because he came from said culture, you can't put that all on the culture of hip-hop. Can't do that. That's bad. You know what I'm saying? That's bad. That would be the equivalent of as racism. You know what I'm saying? That'd be the equivalent of like racism. If it's a black dude who did it, so all black people do these things. That's what I hear when I hear, oh, it's a hip-hop problem. And it's not a hip-hop problem. It's a people problem. People do these things, you know what I'm saying? But it's not a hip-hop problem. You know what I mean? So 50 Cent is the executive producer through his G Unit film and television banner, while Stapleton executive producers for House of Nonfiction with Texas Crew Productions also producing. 50 Cent first announced that G Unit would be producing a docuseries in early December, at which point Combs had been sued for 4 different women, beginning with his ex-girlfriend Cassie Ventura, whose lawsuit opened the floodgates against him, with whom he quickly arrived at a settlement. At the time, 50 Cent shared a clip on X that showed Bad Boys record rapper Mark Curry alleging that Combs would spike bottles of champagne at his parties before women drank from them. Proceeds from the documentary, the rapper producer said, will be used to support sexual assault victims. This is, oh man, this is a lot, man. This is a lot. The crazy thing is 50 been coming out about Diddy. He's been at Diddy's neck. He's been talked about Diddy's parties. He's been said all these things. So this isn't one of those situations where it's like, oh, now you want to speak up. He has been speaking up. So I have to salute him on that. He has been speaking up, not necessarily on the sexual assault, because, you know, he might not know about these things, but he's been speaking up. He ain't been a fan of Diddy and what he does for a while now, and he's called Diddy out. Since just last week, Combs was arrested in New York and charged on 3 counts: racketeering, conspiracy, and sex trafficking by force, fraud, or coercion, and transportation to engage in prostitution. He pleaded not guilty, but remains in custody as he was denied bail at his appeal hearing. Combs has also been hit with several more lawsuits in February from his former employee, Rodney Lil Rod Jones, alleged that Combs made unwanted sexual advances and forced him to hire and engage in sexual relations with sex workers. In 2023, Jones himself was later mentioned in an April lawsuit in which Grace O'Markey alleged that while working as a steward on a yacht, Combs' son, Christian Combs, forced her to perform oral sex on him, and that Combs paid the yachts. Oh, I didn't hear this. This is new. Oh, snap. I said that they were going to be trying to get Christian Combs and Puffy's kids involved in this. I didn't hear all this now. You see, I perked up when I started reading this. Whoa, hold on now. April lawsuit in which Grace O'Markey alleged that while working as a steward on a yacht, Combs' son, Christian King Combs, forced her to perform oral sex on him, and that Combs paid the yacht's captain to keep the matter under wraps. And May model Crystal McKinney alleged that Combs drugged and sexually assaulted her in 2003. And earlier this month, former Danity Kane singer Don Richards sued Sean Diddy Combs for verbal abuse, assault, sexual battery, and intentional infliction of emotional distress. Oh, wow. Yeah, that's that kid, hey, King Combs, that's a new one. I was saying it's kind of hard to, if that's going on, not saying the kids, but you know what I'm saying, these are grown kids with money, power, and influence. And it always in the back of my head was like, I wonder what was, if Christian, I wonder if Justin are involved in any of these situations. You know what I'm saying? I was always wondering if they were involved in these situations. That is why you're hearing that is, you know what I'm saying? I was just waiting for that shoe to drop. I was waiting for that shoe to drop. I guess this is it. This is it. Saying May CNN reported on a leaked video that showed Combs grabbing, shoving, and kicking Cass at a hotel. We saw that. He later, after he lied about it, he took full responsibility for his actions. This was the first and only time admitted to any wrongdoing. Before then, he had denied everything. He put out "Enough is enough." I don't know if y'all remember that when he tweeted that out. For the last couple of weeks, I've sat silently and watched people try to assassinate my character and destroy my reputation and my legacy. He said, sickening allegations have been made against me by individuals looking for a quick payday. Let me be absolutely clear. I did not do any of the awful things being alleged. I will fight for my name, my family, and for the truth. That's what he posted. Yeah, that's what he posted. And then we saw that video. Now the post no longer appears on his Instagram account, but remains pinned to the top of his Twitter account at the time of this article's publication. Additionally, after Homeland Security raided his LA and Miami properties in March, he posted on Instagram the video of his 1998 song Victory, in which he runs from the police with the caption "Bad Boy for Life." This is Netflix's first official confirmation of its involvement in the series, though 50 Cent discussed the project with the Hollywood Reporter back in July. What y'all think about that, man? Let's hit the comments. That's reading. That was wild to read. That was wild to read. You know what I mean? Wow. Let me see. Angel of Redemption said 50 just trying to get to the bag. I mean, he always got to play in, you know, he always got something in play, right? That's the thing about Fifth. Fifth be 2, 3, 4, 5 steps ahead of people. You know what I mean? He do. It's also retribution for tying up his baby mama. Yep. And revenge. Not retribution, but revenge. Yeah. Baby moms is in it too. I forgot. Yeah, his baby moms is involved in the RICO too. And yes, now the kids, but that's what I was saying. I've been, you know what I'm saying? In my mind, I'm like, the kid is, they gonna rope the kids in this some type of way. The kids is getting, especially Justin and King, you know, they're older of age. They're getting roped into this. I don't think they leave unscathed. You know what I mean? It's something they gonna get roped into this for real on the big time. Yeah, these still have been wondering about him. Blue, remember I told you last week when his sons were at the courthouse for support that they were going after them next. RICO. Yeah, the whole thing is RICO. Combs Enterprise. When I read the indictment, it's Combs Enterprise. So if you were anything to do with Bad Boy as a record company crew or staff, they coming after you. They coming after you. They gonna get you. Said 50 ain't really mess with them like that. Nah, he didn't. 50 ain't really rock with them like that at all. 50, he kept his, and that's, you know, this wow, being as big as 50 was and is, that he never was really like on some Diddy shit. And most people were on some Diddy shit. Because, you know what I'm saying, Diddy was looked at, hey, look, Diddy was looked at as black excellence. I'm going to put this out there. Diddy was looked at as black excellence. He was looked at as the gold standard for things. You know what I'm saying? Billionaire status and things of that nature. 50 was always distant. 50 was distant. Never really rocked like that. Said he ain't had no beef with him necessarily, but spirit was off. So I've been thinking for a while the reason why Cassie came out was that she may have been prompted by the feds to drop the suit when Diddy paid. They can probably be used as an admission of guilt. Yeah. Because it's a bad, you know what I'm saying? Just because you do pay on a civil suit, it's not an admission of guilt, but I can, you like you said, I understand what you're saying. When it comes to court, I can bring that up in court saying and question, why did you pay? If you didn't do anything, if there was, you know what I'm saying, why did you pay? That in the put in the, because already this court is, this case has been tried already. This is why, you know what I'm saying, to me, Diddy can't win, because whatever jury they get is already, the jury pool's tainted because of how big this is already. You know what I'm saying? The jury pool's tainted. He can't walk out of, I don't see a win he walks out of this to where the jury doesn't convict him of something. That video is going to be on repeat in that courtroom. He got caught. Even when they arrested him, he had things on his, you know what I'm saying, on his person, drugs and things of that nature. It's a hard out for Diddy, man. It's going to be a hard out. I don't know what his next pivot move is. I really don't know, but it's going to be a hard out for Diddy. You know, hard out for Diddy. But yeah, that King Combs information right there, that was my first time reading that. That was my first time reading that. I heard Diddy's willing to take the trial to squeal on possible codees to get a reduction. He better. Look, I'm gonna tell you this. Whoever, if he's snitching on someone, I don't blame Diddy. If he go up there and squeal like a pig, I do not blame Diddy for squealing like a pig. That person, yep, he was doing it. If he go up there and Nino Brown that whole thing, I wouldn't be surprised. I would not be surprised. You got to read that indictment and see what he's facing, bro. I would not be surprised. He wild, man. Look, my thing is, if that's what, if those two, if him and his girl are into that, cool. Right? If they into it and that's all consensual, I don't care what anybody does in their bedroom. I don't think anybody necessarily really cares about what a person does in their bedroom with, you know, being consensual. It's when you hire those people and your girl doesn't want to do it and you force her to do it while you record it and you pleasure yourself while watching it happen. That is some sick shit. You know? I don't know. It's some numbers gonna be on the board. That ain't what I'm saying. You know, I ain't saying that it's gonna be some numbers on the board. All I'm saying is he gonna try to plea as much as possible. He gonna try and plead as much as possible. That's all I'm saying. To get out of something. To get out of something, he's gonna try to plead as much as possible. But y'all let me know what y'all think about 50, doing this documentary, giving it to Netflix. What does it mean? What are we gonna see on this? How much information is on this? You know what I'm saying? Would this end up being one of who is doing those movies? Is it FX? They just did the Aaron Hernandez story. They did OJ and all of that. Or is that Netflix? Is that Netflix? Who is that doing that? Netflix, I know, did who did the Melendez brothers? That's Netflix, right? Like, I can see movies like that coming. Be on the lookout for the Diddler movie coming. You know what I mean? Be prepared for that coming. Not a docu-series, but you know, actual actors and things of that nature. That's where they really get into it. Because the documentaries get into it, but you don't get to see the video. You know what I'm saying? How when the actors act a certain way, and like the OJ case and all. Look, be on the lookout for that coming, man. But see, the thing with all the video evidence, cell phones, it's cooperation doesn't mean anything. All that. Well, it depends on if there's a bigger, if there's a bigger fish that they're going after, and he can, you know what I'm saying, he can point them in that direction. It's things like that. He might have some leverage on somebody. He might have some leverage on some people who might be trying to prosecute, to where they might have to pull the prosecution back or pivot their strategy. You know what I'm saying? The tapes that he has, who knows who's on those tapes, those cell phones? We don't know. We don't know. It might be some actual real movers and shakers on those tapes. You know, might be. And once that come out, you know, he could be on them tapes. Could be. True. We'll see. We'll see. Trust me, I will be covering it. Once it goes to trial or whatever, I'm gonna be steady covering it. You know what I'm saying? So I'll be right here. Y'all join me when it all happens. I will be covering it. But that's it for me, y'all. You know, hopefully y'all enjoyed this stream with me. Appreciate y'all rocking. Don't forget the memberships are open. I didn't even put my banner up. Memberships are open, y'all. Memberships are open, y'all. Become a member, man. Support your boy. I will be doing some members only stuff to where I can get, you know what I'm saying, nitty gritty, some members only streams and things of that nature. Plus, I'm going to be doing a members only giveaway. So I want to do a $50 giveaway. But members are the only people who are going to be able to participate in this $50 giveaway. So please, 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 if you can, join, become a member, man. Rock with me, rock with me, rock with me. So when I do this giveaway, because it's going to be through the members, you know, just letting you know. But yeah, you ain't got to go home, but you got to get the hell up out of here, man. Till next time, peace. And I am out. See you next time, y'all.